I'm recording to the computer.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. We're so grateful that you are here for our Wellness Business Pop-Up, and it is March 16th, 2021. And I'm so excited to have Scott Watkins and Brooke Bush as our guest speakers tonight. So thank you so much for being here. And before we get to them sharing their story and telling us a little bit about it, what I'm going to do is share a little bit about a quick overview of Shaklee, and then just ask them some questions to share about what their life is like as a Shaklee business leader. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Shaklee, Shaklee is a health and wellness company that is really about whole health. And I always say it's about a healthy inner you with nutritional supplements and herbal products, a healthy outer you with personal care products, everything from our anti-aging skincare system to things like shampoos, deodorants, lotions, and our green cleaning products for a healthy environment around you, as well as our incredible business opportunity. And actually, Dr. Shaklee developed our first vitamin back in 1915, and that's over 100 years ago. And Shaklee also developed the first plant-based protein powder. And the company began in 1956 and has really been innovating since then. And I love that we are continually coming out with new products and new innovations, one being our personalized nutrition system, Meology. And if you haven't gotten to take that assessment yet, be sure to talk to the person who invited you, because it's really amazing how it takes all of your personal needs and comes up with a plan for your particular body and your health. Shaklee is also beyond organic, natural, and we do testing on all of our ingredients. Then they make the products, then they test them on humans and publish them in peer review and medical journals so that you can feel good that these products are 100% guaranteed in quality, efficacy, safety, as well as unconditional money back guarantee. Olympians also choose our products because they know that they're safe. And we actually have 146 Olympic medals won by Shaklee powered athletes. So we just know that these products are really, truly guaranteed. And we're excited to share with you how these products have helped our guests tonight, as well as how they have been able to turn it into a great business opportunity. So we're going to start with our guests sharing their story, and we will start with Scott, if you don't mind introducing yourself.
Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate you having me here as a guest, and I look forward to sharing my Shaklee journey with everybody. So as Ashley said, my name's Scott Watkins. I'm originally from Wisconsin. I've been living in Minnesota for probably 25 years, something like that. Got 3 dogs of my own. Background, I was in the banking industry for 10 years, corporate America, specifically stocks and bonds in the stock transfer area. Also in cell phone sales, retail sales for 10 years as well. And then as far as this industry goes, I've been in this industry for 26 years. I've been with Shaklee for over 16 years. I'm different interests are animal rescue. Currently, I'm the chairman of the local humane society, and my other interests are involved sports, and I just enjoy helping people and animals. So I appreciate you having me here tonight.
Wonderful. I love it. And I love hearing your story. And I thank you, appreciate you putting together these pictures, because I think it's so great for everybody to see how wonderful and such a full, wonderful life you lead, as well as so many Shaklee builders. Well, thank you. Brooke, would you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. My name is Brooke Bush, and I live in North Augusta, South Carolina. I am a wife to my husband, Derek. He's a public defender. And I'm a new mom to my daughter, Jeannie, and she was born about 3 months ago. So I am on a mission to share the best nutrition that is out there, and that's through Shaklee. So I consider myself a full-time entrepreneur, and I partner with a team of professionals that is really, our goal is to help people live their life to the fullest. And we believe that is done when we are feeling our very best. And that's where we come in with Shaklee, is we provide the products we feel help with that. And I have been blessed by Shaklee in 2 different ways, both with the products and the business, not only as an adult now working my own business, but first as a Shaklee kid. So I was raised by parents who did Shaklee full time. and experienced the benefits of having that flexibility within our family and also having my parents at home. So I knew growing up that one day I'd probably want to do Shakti. I didn't know what that would look like exactly, but I'm so thankful that it's now been a part of my life now that I'm a mom and a wife.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So, Brooke, what does a day in the life of a Shaklee business owner look like?
Well, that is a good question, Ashley. And I think if you ask that of 10 different people, you'll get 10 very different answers. But that's the beauty of Shaklee, is that the business fits into our lives no matter what season of life we're in. And I'll say I'm a counselor by background, and I'd worked in television and did film studies prior to counseling, but I had this goal of being able to help people. I wanted to help people with in the masses first. That's why I did television. And then I decided, no, I want to do more one-on-one helping. So that's why I did counseling. Well, Shaklee has been a perfect meld of both, because we're able to help people on a one-on-one basis, but with a team, we're able to meet the masses, so to speak. So a day in the life for me before I had my little girl was very much was working Shaklee full time. I do see a few clients. I was seeing about 10 clients a week before my daughter, and I fit that into my life, but Shaklee was my full-time focus. Now Shaklee is still my full-time work focus, but my daughter comes first. So Shaklee fits in around her sleeping schedule, and my husband's very hands-on and very helpful. So I'm able to work, on the weekends, and really the beauty of my business is I get to work when I want to, but I get to keep my family as a priority. So I would say it's most importantly, it's flexible, and I get to design my days, which is really, really special, that I can wake up and say, okay, how do I want to lay out my day? Do I want to make calls in the morning? Do I want to make calls in the evening? I can be very strategic with what the people that I'm serving need. And I can totally design it based on my schedule. So right now I would say that I am doing basically two things. I'm servicing the people that are my Shaklee members, my customers, and I'm touching base with them constantly. Sometimes that's on the phone or maybe a Zoom call or newsletters. I just did a mailing to my group. But then I'm also working with the people that also have a heart to share these products and the business opportunity with other people. So I'm guiding and leading my team to then again reach the people I can't reach. And that's where the business opportunity comes in, because I can do so much more when I'm working with other people. So, and then sometimes it's events. I'm doing events in the evenings, or I'm doing a training during the day. And again, the most important thing for me is that it's mobile. I can do it from home. I can do it in my car. I can do it from traveling, but I can most importantly do it around my schedule.
Great. Thank you for sharing. And Scott, how about you? What does your day in a life look like for you?
Well, I've been full-time Shaklee as my primary income since the fall of 2011. Originally, I obviously started off like just about everybody as a side gig, a second income, a backup plan, whatever you want to call it. And since I've started doing this full-time, it's allowed me to, now my side gig is, I have a business dog sitting for people. So I do it out of my home, so I'm not a kennel. People like that because they know my background and things like that. So the flexibility goes back to what Brooke said. Flexibility is the main thing. So I get to do whatever I want every day. I can just make my own schedule up. Whereas when I was in corporate America, I mean, I was working 8 to 12-hour days. In retail sales, I was working 8 to 12-hour days, sometimes 14-hour days during the holiday seasons. So I really, really enjoyed my flexibility. So my day consists of sharing Shaklee with people as I meet them. What I do is look for people's needs. I have a needs books, and when needs pop up, I make a mental note of that, and I get back to around offering a solution if people are willing to look for it. I also support my team. I had my biggest growth this last year in 2020 with Shaklee, so it's fun supporting the team and watching them grow as well. I also get to go to the dog park daily with my dogs. That's their favorite thing to do, is go to the dog park every day. And then while I'm there, I get my exercise in, because it's like 2 acres, so I walk around for 20 to 35, 40 minutes, however long I'm there. Also a good way to socialize. Built my business through BNI, if you know, people are familiar with BNI. Also through the network I make, connections I make through animal rescue, watching people's dogs. And then I do a lot on social media as well. So that's another way I meet people and continuously share the Shaklee. And then I can also, as long as I don't have a scheduled appointment with somebody, like I wouldn't just drop this Zoom tonight because I promised Ashley I'd be here. But if an animal comes up where I need help with rescue or something, it's nice that I can drop. If I'm at the mall selling cell phones, I can't just go help an animal. So I go back to like Brooke said. It's like I'm guessing if I kept track, I'd probably work Shackley 20 to 25 hours, 5 hours a week, if that makes sense. So that's how my day goes.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So Scott, did you have any concerns at all when you were looking to become a Shackley business builder?
My biggest concern was I was with another company that for 9.5 years as a technology company. That's where I originally got into the industry, had good success. But even in that business, if I wasn't continuously recruiting, bringing new people in, there was no real residual income like they promised. It was all on bonuses. And so this company had been around for 15, 16 years, disappears overnight. So when I was looking to connect my wagon, another horse, I guess if you want to call it, I was looking for a company that was stable. Obviously, Shackley's at 1956. I knew the products were good because I came in for the business. Most people get in using the products and they're like, wow, I got to share this. I was looking for a business to replace the business I had just lost. And so I was excited the fact that obviously the company wouldn't be around that long if the products weren't that good. It's just, I mean, common sense, like the way I look at it. So my main concern was that I could actually plug myself in, learn the skills that I needed to learn, and make the kind of income I wanted to make, because I wanted this to be my primary income. I always have. I worked my butt off for corporate America. I worked my butt off in retail sales. And the bottom line is if you're working for somebody else, you're making somebody else rich, and they're telling you what you're worth, and they're telling you what your time is worth. And so that was my main concern. And like I said, I've been full-time since 2011. After last year, I'm debt-free aside from my house, which is a great feeling as well. And if it wasn't for Shackley, I wouldn't be able to do that. So if you're looking for something, make sure you're looking for a company that's got good high standards. Integrity is just amazing in Shackley, if you know anything about Shackley. And look for people that are going to support you, a company that's going to be around for a long time. I shy away from technology companies, I tell people, and I also shy away from startups because most startups fail. It doesn't matter if it's multi-level network marketing or if it's a traditional brick and mortar business. Facts, numbers are numbers. So to me, Shackley, it's like, wow, this is amazing that I can still get into a company that's been around since 1956 and make the kind of income that I want to make. So that was my concern, just to be able to replace the income I needed to.
Love it. So true. I mean, you just put it right in a nutshell about looking and comparing companies.
I'm not trying to brag, but I made director in 21 days, and my third check in Shackley was over $1,000. And even when I was running the cell phone store, I was maybe putting 8 to 10 hours a month in, or I'm sorry, 8 to 10 hours a weekend, if that usually. And I was still maintaining that $1,000, but I was making good money running the cell phone store. Well, then things changed with the economy. And if it wasn't for Shackley's and the fact that I could take it to the next level, I would have lost my house. I would have lost everything. So.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
You're
Brooke,
welcome.
how about you? Did you have some concerns?
Like, wow. Yeah, Scott, I agree with Ashley. That was just so well said. I will say, because I was a Shackley kid and my parents have been involved in Shackley for so many years, I had no concerns about the integrity of the company, the longevity of the company, the efficacy of the products. And I knew they worked. I had no concerns about anything Shackley related. My biggest concerns were with myself. I doubted initially, could I do this? And I remember I was engaged at the time. A few months before I got married, my husband and I were living in different towns because I didn't move to him until we got married. And I was still working a job that I loved. It was very much fitting for my personality. I had a wonderful group of colleagues. I looked forward to going to work every day. I probably could have worked there for like 40 years. And I had colleagues that had been there for 8, 10, 18, 20, 25, 30 years. But I would pause and think, gosh, if I wasn't engaged right now, and if I wasn't going to be moving out of this job to get married, how long would I really want to be doing this? Because it would probably get monotonous. And doing a typical 9 to 5 and having to like literally rush to work to clock in. I would have to be clocking in within like a 6 minute period, or else I had to stay another 15 minutes and then clocking out. And I kind of wondered, like, gosh, do I really want to do this? Like, would I want to? Of course, I had an out. And I decided in my mind, no, I wouldn't. I would want more. So I knew that Shackley was very fitting. And I knew that it was the type of future I wanted, but I doubted if I could be successful. And I remember sitting outside in my car talking to my soon to be husband. I'm like, gosh, I don't know if I can do this. Like, it's scary to leave my job and do Shackley full time. I mean, I'm doing it so spare time. Like, can I do this full time? And he said, Brooke, you can do it. I believe in you. And I just needed someone to believe that I could do it, that I could figure it out. And he said, you are creative. You can be strategic. Like, you have great support. You'll figure it out. And that's what I really want to emphasize, is that in Shackley, we're in business for ourselves. So I'm an independent entrepreneur, which is so fun, but I'm not by myself. So it's not lonely, and it therefore shouldn't be scary. I have the most wonderful support in the people that introduced me to Shackley, which is my parents. But I would assume that if you're on this call, you have wonderful support because you were even told about this call, or this Zoom meeting. And I have a wonderful team, and that team extends into the team that is with Ashley. Like, we're a Shackley family. So our community is far beyond the organization that we're in. It is really an international Shackley family, which is really remarkable. And unlike the typical jobs out there where it's often competitive and it's not super relational, Shackley it's all about people. Because Dr. Shackley's point in building and really creating this company, instead of putting products on the shelves, he said, I want to get these products into the hands of people who can then go share the products in a person-to-person meaningful way, because these products have a story and they're different than the products that are just on the shelves. So he created this wonderful business opportunity where we have the opportunity to now go share what's been given to us. So it's really just passing on the gift that's been given. And I'll say I did doubt, could I be successful? Could I make money? Would I contribute to, this new household I would be a part of in marriage? Would I be able to connect with people well? And I doubted at first, but it's all proven to be true. So if I could go back and talk to my prior self, I'd say, have more confidence in your husband. He was right.
Wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. And speaking of that, having the confidence in yourself and also the product line, can you share a little bit about how the products have helped you all these years since you've been taking them all your life?
Yes, it's funny. I have very early childhood memories, like 18 months. I know that sounds strange, but I promise it's true. And one of my earliest memories is my mom putting me up on the counter in the kitchen and being like, okay, Brooke, time for your vitamins. And I was like, yay, because it was always a fun experience. But she would pop open, if you have not tried Immunity Formula I, it's kind of a sleeper product. It's not in the product catalog, but it is a wonderful immunity builder. And it's safe for kids. So she was very smart. She'd pop it open with a little pin and she'd squeeze a little bit onto frozen orange juice on a spoon. And that's how she'd get it down, because the orange juice would hide the taste. And that kept my immune system extra strong, along with, of course, the chewable vitamins and stuff. So I've been taking Shackley products all my life. Very, very blessed by that. And I often think, gosh, where would I be if I didn't have Shackley from really conception on? Because I had a very serious candida overgrowth in my body when I was really probably since I was born, but we didn't know it till I was in like 3rd grade. And it was the worst case that this doctor had seen ever. And she said that at that point, if we didn't get on top of it, all my internal organs would be severely compromised and my life could be, really negatively affected by it. So with Shackley's nutrition, especially things like the probiotic and the garlic and of course, the multivitamin and all the wonderful omegas and everything that Shackley offers that kids can take, I was able to rebuild my health. And I did do an additional cleanse in addition to that, but my health regained and I'm totally normal. I have no lasting effects and have never been on medications. So I would say that, that was crucial as a kid. And then now I will give a shout out to anyone that knows a pregnant mother or maybe women that want to get pregnant one day. I have never felt so well pregnant. I felt wonderful. And I attribute it to Shackley because I have multiple friends that have been pregnant and their experiences were different. I'm trying to share, Shaklee with them now, especially for their other pregnancies. But I will say, even after pregnancy, initially the recovery. Oh, real quick, funny story I thought about today. I was in labor and delivery for like 23 hours and I was awake for 46 hours. But the doctor, at one point I asked the doctor, because I had not eaten anything for maybe 15, 16 hours. And I was hungry. And I said, could I maybe eat like this energy chew? And the doctor's like, sure. So I ate the energy chew and she saw how well I was doing. But at one point she's like, Brooke, maybe go get another one of your energy chews. So there I was in like labor and delivery, and I was drinking my Hydrate Plus and having my energy chews, and was able to do it with my husband's support and naturally. So I'm very thankful for that. And then after I gave birth, like the protein, I was not sore by the time I got home, which made no sense. I should have been very sore. So anyways, just have done so well, have felt so well. And I've never been so thankful for Shaklee as in this season as a new mom.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm so grateful that you've had all that. Thank you for sharing. And Scott, you have an amazing health story with all of the products. Could you share with us, please?
Sure, and thanks, Brooke. I just get so excited when my first conference was when I got involved 16 years ago, was in Chicago, and just meeting so many people that have been around Shaklee for so long and in for so long, and then everybody's like 10 to 20 years younger than they are. It's just the proof is in the pudding, because I always took supplements. My grandma always told me to take supplements, but I always got them from big box stores, synthetic ones. So when I found Shaklee, like I said, I got it for the money side, but somebody else had better plans for me on the product side, because I literally had sinus infections, four to six sinus infections a year that would last 4 to 6, 7 months out of the year. Used to eat Advil by the handful from car accidents and sports injuries. So I had back and neck pain. Used to get ingrown hairs and things like that. Used to have looked like I had dandruff in the winter because of the laundry detergent, things like that. Had high cholesterol, I was overweight. So going back to all those things, I've had, I think, 2 sinus infections in 16 years now. I don't take Advil anymore. I take Joint Health Complex. So I don't have all those aches and pains. Ingrown hairs, I think I've had 1 in 16 years because of changing to Get Clean products. Lost over 40 pounds 12 years ago. Maintained that until a lot of people have called it COVID-20, and I think I've got part of that. So I do have to work on that, but an easy solution. I know what to do. And then I had high cholesterol. Well, so I got way healthier than I was. 37 to 54, I'm much healthier at 54 than 37. I did have a heart attack June 10th of 2018, 2 years ago. Doctors were kind of confused. I basically had 4 heart attacks over 9 days. Didn't realize I was having heart attacks. I was having mini heart attacks. Getting heartburn, which I don't usually get, and then like a pain between my shoulder blades. So I was going to my buddy that's a chiropractor, and they'd go away. Well, it was a Saturday night, and I was up all night with heartburn, literally all night. So I text my buddy in the morning. He's like, well, you can come over and I can adjust you, but I got to go to a Little League game quick. And then he calls me and starts asking me questions, and I'm like, oh, I'm probably having a heart attack. So I'm still not smart enough. I go to finally lay down, go to sleep for 2 or 3 hours, wake up all sweaty, stop and take care of a cat that I'm taking care of, go to urgent care. Urgent care said, well, if you think you're having a heart attack, you need to go to emergency room. I'm like, okay. So that's after I stood in line, paid my copay and everything. So I drive myself to emergency room, get in there at noon. They airlifted me to St. Cloud, Minnesota, which is the #1 hospital heart hospital in the area now. So from noon to 3 o'clock, I'm in recovery with 4 stents put in. I was 99% blocked. I literally don't think I'd be here if it wasn't for Shaklee, because I did not have high cholesterol. I did not have high blood pressure, maybe a little overweight, but not obese by any means. And I'm not pre-diabetic. So the doctors are like, well, what the heck caused your heart attack? Well, hereditary. I've got a great grandfather and an uncle that dropped dead of heart attacks at 59, grandpa that had strokes. And then I was a smoker. It would be 2 years, March 29th, I'll be smoke free. So I was a smoker for 26 years. And then my diet had improved a lot, but I was still eating frozen pizzas and things like that. I just wasn't living on a fast food menu like I was. So from my heart attack until it took me less than a year to get off all my medication from the heart attack, got myself back into shape, physical wise, and yeah, everything's been good since. And I got a bigger purpose, and I'm looking forward to just keep sharing with Shackley, with people, the opportunity and the products and helping animals. That's what my path is right now. So that's where I'm at. And not to mention all the people I've been able to help. That's the best part. I mean, just so many people I've been able to help over 16 years. And I'm sure a lot of you on here have been able to help so many people too, but that's the best part, in my opinion.
I agree. And hearing your story, I mean, yours and Brooke's story are reasons why I do this business, because this business, these products really change people's lives for the better. So thank you so much for sharing. We're so grateful you're here to share with us, for sure. Well, our final question tonight is, I would love for you to share how your life has changed. Now, we've heard, obviously, your health has changed in a positive way. And I know there's some other key things, and how it's changed with being involved in the Shackley business. Brooke, you want to start?
Sure. Well, that's a big question and a very important question. I would say that since moving from very spare time Shackley to now full time, my life has changed very significantly. I feel like I've grown personally in ways I did not anticipate. So that confidence has come into play in a lot of different areas of my life. And I think if you talk to people that have been in Shackley for a handful of years, they'll tell you it's the best self-development program they never knew that they needed. And I feel like I'm learning to appreciate people more. I'm learning how to listen better. It's very much an ongoing process. I will probably never fully arrive, but I guess I just see how many people I normally would not have the privilege of getting to know or cross paths with. And all of a sudden, they're people I communicate with regularly because they're ordering products or they're a part of my team. So my world has really opened up in ways that it never would have in my prior job. Part of that is that with Shackley, you can never hit ceilings. So that growth is ongoing. You can never truly arrive, which is wonderful. And that's why you see so many people in Shackley never retiring, which I don't want to retire. I really enjoy working. I find a lot of purpose in working. That's why it was really important to me when we had a family that I'd be able to work in some aspect. And I think that I would say the most important gift that Shackley has given me, which has been my why all along, is the gift of staying home with my daughter. I cannot imagine, we just hit 12 weeks on Sunday. I can't imagine going back to work and like leaving her somewhere. And I know there's a lot of parents that have to and maybe choose to, and I respect that. But for me personally, I feel very called to be a full-time mom with her. So that's the most important thing, is Shackley's been able to replace my income, where I can now cut back to 2 clients a week at the counseling center, which I do remotely right now. And I can work Shackley full-time around my daughter's schedule. So if the most precious commodity that we have is our time, Shackley's given me time with my family in this season of life that I know, it's fleeting. It won't always be, she won't always be this age. I'll also say Shackley's taught me how to manage my time in a way that I doubted if I could figure out. And I've been able to figure it out. And it's very fun to be able to, again, design my day and be strategic with my week. And it's opened up community that I cherish. I was telling Ashley, even when I was pregnant, and now as a mom, if I have a question, I can think of 30 people, probably 30 women like Ashley, that I could reach out to and ask a question, knowing that they would really take the question to heart and answer, whether it's product related or even just how to bring Shackley into motherhood, and caring for my daughter. So it's the community that I think people, until they're in it, they can't fully appreciate the gift that's there. And that's what we term the Shackley family. It doesn't have to be people that you work with directly. It's people that share Shackley, use Shackley. That's the Shackley family. So, and then I will say also, my husband and I have been able to travel to the home office on Shackley's dime, which was such a gift, and earned a trip to Costa Rica, which didn't happen, but we're compensated for that, which was a blessing financially last year. And financially, I will say probably the biggest highlight since I started working full time is Shackley pays our car payment, and we got a Subaru Outback 2019. I guess it was certified pre-owned, but anyways, they pay everything but $100. So we only pay $100 a month for our car. And that is a huge blessing, because now having a daughter, it's really important that you have a safe car. And my husband had like, I think 3 cars break down while I've known him. So now I know that he's going to get to work safely, and we're set for now. So thanks to Shackley, we have a car.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Brooke. And Scott, how about you? How has it changed your life in different ways?
It's changed in a lot of different ways. As I've mentioned, just to summarize, time freedom, debt-free, determining my own self-worth. Going back to what Brooke just mentioned, the community is just awesome. The fact that I'm even here talking with you guys, let me share this, is awesome. The fact that Ashley reached out because Jeannie Terrell recommended it, and it's awesome. I just love it. My personal team that we've got going is got a great community. The personal self-development, what Brooke said, yeah. I'm not saying that you should go out and pay money to get self-development, but I mean, if you get into Shackley and you work it and you plug in, you're going to get what people pay thousands of dollars for, in my opinion. And then it's on the job training instead of just go do this. Don't do as I say as I do. Say, no, I like to see people. Renee's on the call. Renee is my sponsor. She's in the trenches. And that makes me want to be in the trenches. She's not just telling me to go do something she's not willing to do. And it's so cool about it. I was fortunate enough to be one of the pilots on the Prove It Challenge 2 years ago. So I was blessed to have sponsored a lady that us two exploded the Prove It Challenge pilot. Got to speak on stage in Vegas the last time that we had a in-person one. And then Renee and I from that also got asked to do a training for, I think, 45 minutes in one of the breakout sessions on gathering customers, retaining them, because I've got a large number of customers on loyalty orders as well. So if you would have told me 26 years ago that I'd be up on stage talking in front of 6,000, 7,000 people, 5,000 people, whatever it was, I would have told you you're nuts, because there's no way in heck that would have happened. As you can tell, I talk fast, I mumble. So the first day that we did practice, when we got to conference with Heather Chastain, I'm sitting there going through it, and the guy comes up to me. He's like, "Slow down." So my main focus the whole time was just to talk slow. So it's just things like that, and I like to get constructive criticism, because that's how you grow, is things like that. And then yes, this is the trip too, the Costa Rica. I earned that as well this year. Ashley, as you know, earned a $20,000 bonus for the 20K in 2020. I was fortunate enough to earn the $6,000 bonus in 2020. So yeah, just a lot of things have changed. And like I said, I can't imagine where I'd be if it wasn't for Shackley, health-wise and financial-wise. I don't think I'd be in a good spot either way. So actually, if I would have been able to stay at the banking job for 30 years, like some people would do, I'd have millions of dollars probably, because I had a lot of money. But my problem was that I mentally would have been at a nervous breakdown because of all the stress and stuff. So I don't care how much money you have. If you're in the loony bin, you can't spend it. So, but yeah, Shackley's been a huge blessing for me. And anybody that's looking for another avenue of income, I highly recommend getting in with diving at both feet and learning that new skill set and being coachable.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you so much for sharing. You both, I mean, I love hearing other people's stories, because although so many of ours are similar in the things that we love about this, with time flexibility and freedom and being able to travel and our health being helped, all of that. I mean, there's just so many incredible benefits that we have as being Shackley business owners. And I so thank you, Brooke and Scott, for being with us and sharing your stories. And I appreciate all of our audience and our friends being here to hear more. And I really invite anybody that was invited tonight to connect with the person who invited you and let them know what you think about this, if you're ready to join the team. And when you talk to them, I encourage you to let them know where you are in your thought process. So if they invited you, they really think highly enough of you that they want you to join their team. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say if you're between an 8 and a 10 and you love what you heard, you're ready to jump in, try the products, join the team, let them know that you're there. If you're at a 5 to 7 and you say, I want to try the products, but I have some questions about getting started, then you're kind of in that middle part. And then if you're between a 1 and a 4 and you say, I want to try the products, I'm just not ready to do the business. I just want to be a referral source. Let them know that you're there. Any place that is best for you is where I'm sure the person wants to help you that invited you. And remember, Shackley is a money back guarantee product and our really has some amazing benefits along the way. And as a friend reminded me, Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So give yourself a shot because you just might score big time. And there are some specials that are going on. So and ask the person invited you to share with you the current special. And we really, again, appreciate our guests being here. Thank you all for your time. And we hope that you join our Shackley family. And remember, take your shot because you can't win if you don't try. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Great job.